Why don't we play some of them hoes alike? Try whips I know they like. Twist a you told them right. I can make you a celebrity overnight. What's up, my dudes? Got us some first-person camera on Supercross 3, right? So, yeah, the absolute atrocious first-person camera on MXGP 2019. Surely to goodness we would have something better than that here, and it does seem to be the case. I will say that. This seems to be just a better positioning, not so weird and shaky and bizarre. This to me just seems like a better first-person camera all the way around. This is a little more comparable to like back in the first Supercross games, first-person camera, and the second Supercross games, first-person camera. This one to me just, it tracks the bike well. It's not in a weird place. It's not like too zoomed in or a weird field of view. You can still hit jumps. You can still see the front fender. You know, it's just all around. This is just like a pretty solid first-person camera. I'm not saying it's like, oh my God, perfect, but pretty solid for like a newer, you know, arcade motocross game. Let me kill this ghost real quick. Okay. So yeah, on here on one of these little, ooh, look at that triple in, baby. Pretty, steep triple in landing for sure. On one of these little, a little wheel tap, again, Jet Lauren action going on. So what I'm noticing with it right away is, ooh, is that a quad entry? Whew, I think it is. What I'm noticing right away that's pretty cool about this is when you go into the corners, the dude kind of naturally, like, this is what I'm noticing that's different about this than like the first Supercross game and some of these other arcade motocross games. The dude actually kind of leans into the corner, you know what I mean? It doesn't just feel like your dude's kind of like, oh, holy shit, in the corner in first person. There's actually like a leaning. You feel like the dude's actually leaning his head over a little bit, you know what I mean? Which is actually really cool, and I think it fits this very well right here, like very, very well. I'm actually pretty impressed with this right here. This seems like a element of the game that they really took some time to make decent, you know. Man, that triple is fun, dude. So, yeah, there's actually some substance here. This is pretty cool. Some of these lines I haven't really got fully figured out yet. You can throw some of these whips in first person. They don't look too bad. So I'm on one of these little, oh yeah, there's that line, boys. I'm on one of these little, like, training Supercross, one of the little compound training tracks, so it's pretty cool. It kind of feels like you're on a little Supercross test track or something. So, oh yeah, really interesting on their track designs on some of these where they'll have, like, you know, a really raised up part on a jump face somewhere, like, either on the left side of the jump face or in the middle of the jump face or on the right side. You know, there's all this different varying, varying heights to the actual jump faces in this game, which is really interesting. And I didn't notice that on really basically any of the other Supercross games out there. But I'm really impressed with this, dude. Like, I could definitely see myself just sitting here playing this for a little while, like. Whereas the other Supercross games, it just kind of gets boring pretty much instantly. But you can see to the left side of that jump face. Let me hit that specific section again real quick. I can't. Let me get... Holy shit. Yamaha YZ450 power, baby. Get away from you a little bit, dog. Okay, let me see if I can get back around that section again. Ethiopian poisonous caterpillar getting a little in my way, if you know what I'm saying, dogs. So... Okay, jump that, and then a triple almost. So yeah, I mean, like, for what it is and for what they have been doing and for the type of game that it is, and like, and all those things considered, this is a pretty solid first-person camera right here. I mean, I can't really see too big any sort of like negative or disappointment with it. Like, it's just pretty solid all the way around, dude. Okay, so, yeah, we'll tap that. I mean, you can even see on the main triple faces, they're just all kinds of different, like, you know, different heights on the jump face. But right there to the left, you're really going to be able to quad that section in easier if you hit it on the taller part of the face itself, right? So they've added a lot of character to the tracks, I feel like, in this game, where the jump faces are really varied and really, like, different depending on... See, like this... Okay, so let me see if I can... Look at this right here. Look at how... Well, I can't really fucking show this. Can I back up? Yeah, like that. Okay. So right here, let me see if I can do this. Look at... To the left of this jump face right here. Look at how low that is. You can almost not even hit this jump face in a sense. If you come way over here and hit this like right in here, you can almost not even hit a jump face. So pretty insane how they made some of these tracks. Like, and that's how a lot of real life training test tracks are. You know, they're not perfectly built, like perfectly built jump faces and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see them get some of that variation here. And here's the goggle mode right here. So, oh man. Yeah, did it actually zoom? Yeah, my field of view changed. And the, how far down, like the pitch of the camera seems to have changed too. Look at that. So it's like this. Pitch goes down, field of view gets smaller. So this may be a little bit more annoying trying to ride with. Yeah, I feel like the camera is just a little too far down on this one. Just feels kind of difficult to see where I'm going with that low of a field of view and with the camera so far down. So it's really bizarre how their decisions to make the goggle mode like a completely different field of view and a completely different first-person angle than their standard first-person in the game. It's really like, what's the point in that? I guess they're trying to make them kind of like two different cameras, but they're really not. One of them just has goggles on it. I mean, you would just think that that would be more the way it would be versus like them actually feeling different. Holy God, you can quad into that. Dude, there's just all kinds of sections on this track. Like, this is so cool, actually having some kind of depth to rhythms on a Supercross track for the first time ever. Holy God, it's amazing. That's what I've been talking about this whole time, boys. And this game is far from perfect in a few different ways, but man, it is such an improvement in some other ways as well. Like, that triple end's fun every time I hit it on that section, because the triple end landing is actually big enough to give you a little bit of a scare when you're jumping that. It's like, ooh, if I don't jump this all the way, I might pop off the bike, you know. And this quad right here is fun trying to really huck that all the way. And then still trying to figure out the second half of that rhythm to really get that properly. But, dude, like, I'm just really impressed with a lot of these aspects. And I don't know if it's from, like, MX versus ATV influence or what's really causing this, but, man, this is just a whole different game at this point, you know? So, I don't know. It'd be really cool if they keep going down these roads and see where they can get. Riding a wheelie through those whoops. So the whoops in this game, I mean, they're certainly far from being like the full skill gap that I would expect whoops to be, but they seem to be better than the previous Supercross. The other Supercross games, there was none. Literally none. At least in this game, there's sometimes you'll hit a whoop section and it kind of feels like you start bouncing around, bumping around a little bit. First Supercross game, there was just nothing to the whoops at all. Literally nothing. They might as well have been flat sections. So at least there's a little bit to the whoops in this game. I wish they would have been a little bit bigger just in general, but overall, I'm, you know, more impressed with the whoops in this game than they have been previously, but they're still not where they need to be, right? I mean, I can wheelie through the whole entire whoop section without even trying, like every lap, basically, but, yeah. So, either way, they still got some work to do in some areas, but definitely impressed with some of their improvements for sure. And just like being able to really carry speed around some of these corners, you know, there's some depth to this shit now, right? It takes you a minute to kind of figure it out, figure out how to go really fast in a corner, figure out the bigger quad lines coming out of a corner and how big you can hit something, you know. There's actually a bit of a skill gap to this now, whereas before there was just absolutely none. Demortally none. So either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.